The structure of the HMI template suite is coming like this. You have a title bar, which is showing a basic information about the application, like the name of the application. And then you have the status bar. It shows maybe the state of the machine or the user information who is logged into the system, and also the recipe administration. Then we have the 4 navigation level. The first navigation level is coming from the right-hand side, like the sliding screen. Then we have the sub-navigation on the bottom side. And then we have third navigation, if needed, coming from the left-hand side. And fourth navigation is in the tabular view. So all of these navigations are available with the template suite templates. You can use the template suite for WinCC Comfort and WinCC Advanced, and also with WinCC Basic. How it's gonna work? Basically, you may have a screen with some contents, with some jobs that you're dealing with. And then you add the template with the sub-navigation. Excuse me, could you please mute your microphone? Thank you. So in addition to the screen content, of course, you need to have the template for the navigation of the system. So this is coming with the HMI template suite. And in the end, you will have a design like this, the standardized design for your application, for your screen, with the title bar, status bar, and some navigation. In this case, we see the sub-navigation. As we told, you can decide to go with the sub-navigation in your system. This is the third navigation. You can have it in the different views. And you can have fourth navigation if you prefer to see the tabular views on top of the additional main first navigation, sub-navigation, and the third navigation. We have a dedicated style for HMI template suite for the WinCC Comfort and Advanced. So these are defined, and we ask you to use this style before you start with your application to have an identical view or usage with the options. So depending on where you're using this object, you can choose different styles or different designs. For example, for buttons, depending where you're using these buttons, you can select different visualization, basically. And the same is valid for tags, valid for I/O fields, controls, and objects, and so on. The template suite comes with the basic functions available in the status bar. As I mentioned, you can see the operating mode easily. If it's in starter mode, stop or reset hold, you can give certain actions to your application status or the machine status. Then you can see the recipe management window as a pop-up window from the status bar. Then you can also see the login screen, login pop-up window to log in or log off the users that are using the system. And we have here an indicator showing the status of the diagnostics. Here are some sample screens from the template suite. These are also coming with the library. You can use them directly with your applications. And if you want to use the template suite, how would you do that? As I mentioned, it's a part of the library elements in the tier portal. So you basically download the library. And if you're working with a new project, basically you can directly go with the complete device from the library itself. So the library contains all settings, ready-made settings for the complete product, complete HMI device, and also it provides the screens or templates or pop-up screens, tag scripts, as a library element for you to use, as well as it comes with the style for WinCC Comfort and Advanced. So if you're using for a new project, you can directly choose a complete HMI device and integrate it to your new project. If you have an already existing project and you want to integrate the navigation to the existing application, then this is possible for sure with additionally adding the style and tags, scripts, templates, and the screens and the pop-up screens that are commonly used for the template suite. This is also available for the WinCC unified system. So far, we have seen what is available for the WinCC Comfort and Advanced, but this is also available for WinCC unified. The idea is the same. You have the screen content available, then you want to have the navigation with the header information and the navigation information. This is slightly different what we have in the WinCC Comfort and Advanced because of the technology that is used in the unified system. Since we have screen window technology, the screen layout we can define as a screen windows dedicated to a certain layer of the screens. And in the end, you will be having the application screen as you see in below. The same way we have title bar, status bar, and the sub navigation. This is coming by default in the all templates. And in addition to that, you can have this sub navigation, you can have the navigation from the left-hand side, and you can have the tabular view. The basic functions, as I mentioned in the WinCC side, the same is applicable here. You can visualize the operating mode. You can also see the parameter sets like the recipe management. We call it in this WinCC unified system as a parameter sets. And you can have the information of the date and time. Here are some example screens as templates. You can again use them directly in your applications, adapt it to your needs, and start using it. If you want to use a template suite with a WinCC unified system, how you can do it? Again, we have a library that is defined for the template suite. If we are talking about the new project, you can directly drag and drop the complete device to your project. Depending on the device type, if it's a PC-based system, you can also select that, or if it's a panel-based system, you can decide which one to select, and this will generate the navigation automatically. If you have an existing project, but you want to integrate the navigation in the template suite, then you can also do that, of course, via integrating the remaining items like templates, examples, screens, pop-ups, tags, and scripts to your existing project. It's very straightforward. There is one more possibility with WinCC Unified. This is Template Suite Wizard. This is very interesting tool. it is like a wizard that you can integrate all of those settings as per your needs and finally generate a new HMI system in your project. How is the template suite wizard looks like? This is actually a tool which is developed by TIA Portal Openness. Basically, you decide which type of device you would like to add your project, and then you will follow the steps simply, and finally you will be having the device with all the necessary screens and elements there. If you want to become a better HMI designer, what you can do? You can actually join the HMI Design Masterclass with our UX expert providing and learn the tips and tricks, what makes a great HMI design and how you and your customers can benefit. This is free of charge. There are a set of videos available. There are 7 videos with approximately 10 minutes. I suggest you to have a look to those things. And this is the link of the template suite where you can download from our support website. This information is going to be available with you after the session. So yeah, I would like to switch now to the demo. I hope it is visible. So let's start with the TIA portal. Let's start with the support website and to see how we can download the template suite. This is the shortcut to our Siemens Industry Online support. If you type here HMI Template Suite, even you don't need to write, it suggests you. This is the application example. Let me increase the screen a little bit. Yep. So this is the application example, and it gives you the information that you need to start to use the HMI Template Suite. As I mentioned, it is available also for a unified system. And this is the place where you can download the documentation as well as the library for the TIA portal. And this is the executable file for the template suite wizard. The same is available for the WinCC Comfort, WinCC Advanced. Here is the documentation for the library that is giving you the basic information how you can start to use the template suite. And this is the library itself you need to download before you start using it. There are also nice videos available here. You can start, have a look to them to start your applications. And there are 4 additional engineering videos that will be helpful for you to develop your own applications, I guess. So to start with the application, these are my downloaded files. Actually, I have already run the setup, so I have my wizard application available, and the libraries are also available for me to use it in the TIA portal project. So if you're ready, let's start with the first application. So the first thing that I need to do is integrate the libraries. I will start with the template suite version 16, which is available for WinCC Comfort and WinCC Advanced products. Here I have under master copies. Okay, first maybe in the types, we can have a look that we have the style. If it's not already integrated, maybe we need to integrate the style to the WinCC, to the TIA portal. But for me, I have already integrated, so I have the template suite style version 2.0, which is available in the library as well in my application. So the other one is additional objects if you need. So first thing I will do is to add the device from scratch as a full complete device. So for that, I will need to select what pixels I'll be working on. So I prefer to choose TP 1200, the upgrading one. Let's say, let's move this to my project. So here it is already added. And let's start with the simulation. Took some time. So here we see also some, we don't have the maybe exactly the same layout, but we have also possibility to add WinCC basic, so which means basic panels to the template suite, and also these are for the comfort panels. So compile is completed. So we have started with the simulation. So I have just added the device completely to my project and start the simulation. And this is the view that I'm seeing with the template suite. So everything is basically ready. Here you can, of course, adjust anything based on your needs. But what comes with the ready-made library element is the operating mode. You can define certain additional actions, for example, to those buttons. And here the recipe windows is available, the login page is available, and the date and time information. In addition to that, I have a dedicated screen for my messages, for the alarms, and also for the diagnostics overview. And I have additional settings for the device itself. For here, for example, we have a dedicated area for brightness setting as well as for the language setting. If we go back to the main screen, we see here also we have some additional modules in the sub navigation, and when we click to those, we see certain changes in the screen. And if we click here, we go back to the start screen, the home screen. So let's do some changes here. Let's add some screens to here to change in the module navigation, let's say. So here we have sample screens that can be used with the application. I will be adding maybe this one to my screens. So this is going to be the screen that I will be adding to my application. I'll change the name as overview. Oh, let's say module 1 because we're going to replace it with module 1. Yeah. Okay, now I will see the templates. So this screen comes with the template settings directly from the template suite, which is number 2 to navigation levels. So therefore, I will go to the 2 navigation levels to see the settings from there. And this is basically what is available with the 2 navigation level. So in order to be able to see the buttons which are inactive, because I want them to activate, I want to go to the layout and sub-navigation inactive. I will now select the buttons which are already inactive mode. So I will change now the screen to the new module screen when I click to the module 1 button in the application. Currently, it is navigating me to the example module 1 screen, but let's assume that I already have this module screen in my application and I want to change it to that one. So I simply select the module screen and that's it. One more thing I need to take care here is the navigation, because each navigation has its states. So as you see here, there are several states which are representing the animations related to the certain buttons. So I want to copy those also to my new screen. When it's loaded, it will basically change the tag values to those values. So these are important because when we look to the animation, when it's activated, I will see the visibility, sub-navigation state. It will be only visible in the active mode, let's say, when the sub-navigation state is 11. Therefore, I need to change it in my loaded screen to that to be able to see it in the screen with the change. Okay, let's start the simulation again. So this is the first page that we see. Now, when I click module 1, I am able to see my additionally added screen, different than what was in the device itself as a default. So now I can change to that screen if I want to click this module. And as you may recognize, the activated button will look differently than the inactive ones. This is why we have to do the settings for the sub-navigation level when we are loading the screen in the application screen. So if you like, let's add one device from scratch and see how it's going to be possible to implement the template suite with a new device. I don't want to start the device wizard because I don't want to have any template available after the device generation. So I uncheck this setting. I'm just adding the device itself. So here I have only one start screen, which is coming by default. So now I will go to the libraries. And instead of adding the device directly, now I have my device. I may have some additional screens which are already defined and in use, but I want to integrate the navigation. Therefore, I will start to copying the items which are available in the library elements here. And there are some parts which are called resolution independent, as you see here. And under that, we have the pop-up screens. I basically go to here, screen management, pop-up screens. I have nothing here. I just take them and move it to the pop-up screens in my device. Then we have scripts. I will take those, go to the scripts here, and leave them. So I transferred my scripts and also the tags. Then I go to my resolution of the device. Since I'm using TP1200 Comfort, I'm choosing this one. And I will start to move the screen templates to my templates part. To do that, I just go here, take the screen templates and copy under the templates in my project in my device. Then I have a lot of sample screens. I'm just gonna copy all of them to my screens. If I don't want to copy all of them, I may select one and move it to there. This is also possible. Then we have additional pop-up screens. Okay, I want to rename. And grouped objects. Some elements if I wanted to use in the application, but for now I don't need them. One thing we need to do before we start with the simulation is to activate sliding screen, because as we know, the application comes with the first navigation as a sliding screen right here. To do that, we go to sliding screen right. We need to enable this one. And now, yeah, I guess we can start with the simulation. We forgot to choose something here. Okay. Let's go to this error. Okay. Since it was developed by German language, the authorization is not reflected to the English, so I need to adapt it. And maybe we want to change also the view here. Instead of the empty screen one, we may want to do the OE screen as a start window. So now we can, I think, start with the simulation. So here is my start screen, which I have chosen. But since I haven't developed anything for those screens, I will see nothing. I have activated this one, but I didn't do any changes. But still, there are a lot of ready-made things available for me to start to use immediately. So, yeah. Let's go back. Let's add, I mean, this could be, by the way, maybe we should also change this to default values. Yeah, use device style and design. And there is one more setting I forgot to mention here. Just you need to make sure that in the runtime settings you have the dedicated template suite style is selected. This is already done. So for my screen one, as you see, there is nothing available. Maybe I want to add the screen templates as a 2 navigation levels to this screen. Okay, now I can see the screen with the navigations that are available in my template. And yeah, let's add one all view. And if I click this object, since I have selected already the style from here, that I'm going to use the device style on my objects elements, this is automatically comes with the style of HMI Template Suite. I will just resize this one. Okay. Then let's do some, okay, maybe we should also update the name as messages. And let's rename the dashboard also as overview. Cool. So now I want to create a first navigation from here. Maybe I may need to have a little bit smaller. Here we go. And I create a navigation button from there for my overview screen and also for my messages screen. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's select both and do it with the same width and height. Yeah, I guess it should work now. If we start the simulation again, we will see also the sub-navigation, which is directing us to the messages screen and then to the overview screen whenever we need. So that's all from the part that I want to show with the WinCC Comfort, Advanced, and Basic part. Now I would like to switch to the unified part of the HMI Template Suite. As you may remember from the presentation, we have already a wizard available, which is Simatic HMI Template Suite wizard. Let's start to work with it first, and then we will also see the possibility to add the items from the library itself. So here, this is the view. You can select either unified comfort panel, or you can decide to go with the PC system with different resolutions. For me, I would like to go with the 10-inch multi-touch unified comfort panel. And then I will go next. So here, either you can give a project name and the location for the tool itself to create the project and add the device on it, or you can use the existing and running TIA Portal project. For me, I have already running HMI Template Suite project, therefore I am selecting this one. So when I say next, it started to add the device to my project. And also the library elements if they are not already available in the libraries. So it is copying all the device settings as well as it is getting the library available for it to use. By the way, once you install this application, it comes with German language, which is the most used language in our region, I know. But if you want to change it, there is a button here to change language to English. So the next page, it is just showing the information about the project and the details. It's just an informative screen. Then we go to the screen templates. So here we see more stuff actually. If you can see in the right-hand side, there are several settings, several elements that are available for the Unified Comfort Panel HMI Template Suite. So when you click each of them, these are basically showing as highlighted which is the item that is being shown in the screen. So if you don't want to have this view, you basically can unselect. If you want to see those, you can select any of them. So for example, I don't need parameter settings. If I say, I can just remove the parameter set part in the status bar. And then there is a main navigation. If we click here, we see the main navigation. It comes with the buttons to the pages for application, messages, and the settings. So you can decide which one to consider for your application and maybe decide not to use one. Then we have the sub navigation. Yeah, because of my screen resolution, it wasn't visible. Then we have the sub navigation. Here is the home screen button. We can have the overview button and the several modules afterwards to define certain areas in our HMI application. And then we have third navigation. If we need, we can use it. So for my application, I don't want to have third navigation, therefore I just remove it. So on top of that, we have ready-made screens. We can now select any screen from here, which one we would like to use in our application. So there is a table layout, there is a tab view, dashboard overview. Several dashboard overviews are available with the different views. You have a screen for OE, for example. Then you have the machine modules showing the dedicated information about your machine module or the modules, and you can do additional settings on top of that. And so on. So let's select some of them in our application. Or maybe, yeah, this one is good. Let's add this to the application. Maybe you want to see this one. Let's add something from machine modules too. Let's add this one. You can have dedicated screens for the production configuration, for example, or segmented machine view, tile overview, and also the wizards for the steps that you may want to configure in your application that are ready made available. So for now, I guess that's sufficient. Let's go next. In the end, these are the screens that are going to be added to my application. So since it has added all of the things before it is removing now unused ones. So when it's finished, you click OK and the wizard is closed automatically. And here is my unified comfort panel added from the wizard with all the screens that we wanted to see. So what is not coming here, if we compile, we will see an error, maybe not. Okay, we didn't select this kind of screens, sample screens, but when we use the wizard, it is not adding the items from the faceplates. So for the faceplate elements, we will need to choose the item from library and use it in the library itself, in the project itself. So let's open the unified library. Let me show you how it is available. Yeah, okay. From the template suite, master copies, resolution independent. Here are the faceplates. And maybe you remember from previous sessions related to unified, we have the unified faceplate under common data in the project tree. We have unified faceplate types, and these are the faceplate types available here, which are already added, I guess. That's why we didn't have any issue in the compilation. So let's start simulation and see what is coming with the wizard. It automatically started the browser. Now waiting for the login page. Here we go. This is the application, which we have selected from the wizard with some sub navigation, as you see here, and additional information from the alarm view, from the settings, and application itself. We see here the machine state with the operating mode. We see the recipes, the parameter set window here, and so on. So how we can adjust the screens if we want to add certain screens to the sub-navigation, for example. To do that, we will go to screen layout. I will just show you how it looks like. So this is the screen layout that we have with the application, with the header, sub navigation, main navigation, and the third navigation. So what we want to do is to change the sub navigation. I want to change the screen with this sub navigation, for example. So let's change the screen when we click to the overview window that we want to see. Here we can select change screen. We need to define the screen name. We can select from here. From available screens. Maybe for an overview, we want to see the 3 KPIs window. There is one setting here that you need to do is the screen window path. You need to define a path for your screen. Where do you want to change? For this, we change it to string, and I will move it to the navigation to software content. How I know this area is from the layout, basically. So if I go to layout in my screen navigation, I will see here software, header, content, third navigation. These are the areas that I define to change the content, basically. And since I'm changing the screen from the main area, not from the navigation area, therefore I select the path as a software content. So let's add some more from the sample screens that we have already added. Maybe this one. The same, we need to go to string and we need to define this path. Let's see. Okay, we have something in the machine modules. There you go. I guess that's sufficient for a sample. Let's start simulation. So here is my main screen. When I click here, I see additional screens that I have created just now. And when I click the navigation, I can see all of them is changing accordingly. So we didn't define anything for them, so there is no screen change. But when we want to see the content of the other screens, we can see them easily. And from overview, if you want to go to the home page, this is the home page. You simply click to this title bar application, and it will direct you to the basically home screen. This is how we add the HMI template suite with the wizard. Now, I will also show you how we can add it from the library itself. For this, we need to add the device by ourselves. Let's add another MTP 1000. Go to libraries. So here we need to copy everything to the device itself, starting with the pop-up. So maybe you have recognized we don't have separate area for screen management like we have it with the standard comfort panels. So with the standard comfort panels, we have screens, and then we have screen management, which are showing the templates, pop-up screen, sliding screen, global screen, and the permanent area. For the unified comfort panels, we don't have it separately because we have the screen window technology that we can define any area to do any task, basically to show any information. Therefore, for pop-up also, we don't need any special pop-up screens. Basically, any screen can be opened as a pop-up window with the unified system. So we'll copy the tags. Faceplates were already copied, so we'll copy the scripts. Then we have, these were the parts that are resolution independent. Now we're gonna select the screens and the screen layout dedicated to the device type, basically. For us, we are using the 10-inch device, so we are going with this resolution. I will copy the screen layout as it is to my screens. Then maybe we add some sample screens. We are basically adding all the sample screens to the device. An additional pop-up screens, that's sufficient. For the unified system, we need to do certain settings also in the runtime settings for the unified panels, this is by default activated. The encrypted transfer to the device is by default activated, but I don't want to use it right now. That's why I deactivate it. And we need to select the start screen also from here. And for my start screen, I will choose the start screen layout, which is showing my overall layout in one screen. And I will be changing the content only in the screen. Okay. What else is there? I think that's all. Maybe we can start the simulation. It will basically show the same things what we have seen with the first simulation of the wizard generated HMI unified comfort panels. And then depending on our requirements, we can do certain adjustments by ourselves. So here it comes. This is the application. The same way we have sub navigation here, additional screens here. The same thing what we have seen with the wizard generated. But in addition to that, we have now the third navigation, as you see here in the left-hand side. And the remaining part is almost the same. I'll do one more change. Let's again go to sub navigation. Let's change module 1 to the different screen. Maybe here we select one of those screens. And again, I want to change the content part. That's why I type here. And if we go to the screen that we have added, it was machine modules. I think machine modules detailed. Okay, actually, I didn't want to do this. I wanted to go this one. I need something that we can make certain adjustments with the modules. So let's go back. I'll change it to this first one. Yeah. And in here, I want to add a pop-up window from this one. So I click here, I go to events, and I say open screen in a pop-up. I give a name, and I select my pop-up screen. Let's see if it's under here. Yeah. I have, for example, pop-up parameter that I may want to use here. I can decide where I want to locate in my screen. I think that's okay. And now let's see the simulation again. Here it comes. So when I go to module 1, I see the machine details, and For instance, since I have configured something here, I can open the parameter dialog when I want to edit some details about the module. I can use this pop-up window basically to enter some values. So I think that's all for the demo part. I am not going to show you how it's going to be visible when you add the device directly from the library to the project. It's going to be the same. Therefore, I don't want to repeat the same steps. But what I want to also tell you is that you can use the template or the device, ready-made device from here to create your template suite, which is available for the PC-based applications too. So not only for the comfort panels or the unified comfort panels, you can do it for the PC-based systems as well.